back. We are discussing matters environment. Like I mentioned before the break, we'll be speaking to our colleague, that is Barakarama in Kisumu County, and later on as we proceed with this discussion. Dr. welcome back to this second part of our discussion. Now we're talking about issues to do with what is happening on the ground. And Dr. can we talk about what sustainably can we do as a country when it comes to disaster management, which you have to do more so with the environment? Because most of the disasters we have in this country are majorly on environment. What can we do sustainably, Dr.
Quite a number of things. First of all is to engage the institutions that have been mandated to guide on some of these issues. The institution, the weatherman, is a very, very important office. And with all the systems, nowadays there are efficient equipment that have been, and Kenya has really invested in this Kaburu. We need to be able to put the institutions together, be it the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Environment, the institutions around the environmental areas and disasters that come, all the water-related institutions, because this applies from the regional and also the inter-county levels. Is it the issue of water resource? Is it the issue of mineral resources? Is it the water towers? Is it all the sectors to be put together and to agree on early warning systems and also budgeting for some of these areas and activities? This country, for instance, doesn't have efficient areas where we can repatriate people who have been affected in this kind of a system. We need to be able to start budgeting on this as opposed to be reactive to the activities. And I must thank the government and those who are involved for the actions that they take when there is a disaster. There are institutions, even the relevant ministry that's dealing with this, to just well-coordinated system, and as opposed to dealing with the disasters, to be able to deal with the preventive measures. I think this is one direction that we need to deal with. Appropriate action by the relevant institutions and ministries, well-funded and budgeted, awareness amongst the people, because some of the systems, talking about Chesogon, they already saw something happening that was abnormal, at least a day before that, because they saw water going through areas that it would not have gone through, and within a few hours the entire town of 3,000 people was flattened. So some of these actions we need to be able to deal. It's all documented. We just need to move from plan to action, Kaburu. This is what I can say.
Okay, Dr. you've been into this environment matters for some time now, and I'm sure you can tell us what you can do when it comes to use of okay, we'll be back to this, Dr. We have Kenya Met Department. We have a briefing right now which is ongoing. We want to catch up and hear what they have to say. We have CSS there. We have Matiang. We have I can see a number of them. We're going to hear what they have to say concerning this. Dr. Thank
you. Members of the Father State, good morning. As a result of what we have been told, several impacts from a water perspective have happened. We have so far lost crop running into 8,000 acres, particularly in the Jando area. That is rice, which was about to mature. We have also found ourselves having infrastructure that was hitherto going to protect further movement, a backflow of water from Lake Victoria being washed away. And importantly, we have also seen out of landslides which have been experienced, especially on the Aberdare side, in the last 5 days, we have seen water scarcity, particularly into Nairobi via Ngedo. That is where we transmit water coming into particularly Nairobi city. We have had similar effects in Nyeri, water shortages in Nyeri town. We have similar shortages reported in Kisumu, but also in Nakuru, because the infrastructure to deliver water has also been washed away. But pipelines also clogged because the turbidity of the water has effectively meant the water flowing is half mud and half water. Now the teams have moved to restore and unclog the distribution systems with much success, but even as this is happening, we have upped our interventions by way of reorganizing and rationalizing the distribution of water, particularly in Nairobi. We have, and I believe as you came, you saw several boozers, water boozers, tracking water and moving water, and we have continued to keep the consumers alert of what is happening. We expect this scarcity to continue in the coming 5 days, and that is why we appeal for water to be used in a rational manner, sparingly, knowing that we have this temporary problem. We have also moved in to position water tanks, particularly to the affected populations that have been affected, and we have availed potable, clean water in these locations. So again, let's heed the call. Let's be as careful as we are being advised to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Cecily. CS Musheru will tell us about the central role of ICT and communication in the context of the situation we find ourselves in. CS Musheru.
Thank you very much, Waziri. Good morning, media. Let me say I'm very pleased that you've all come today to listen to what even my colleagues are here saying regarding the current challenges we're facing as a country. As you know, right now, flooding is a big area. And we are also seeing a lot of infrastructure and lives lost. And as a result, movement and many things are going to be a challenge. So mine is really to appeal to the media to continue to support the efforts that the government is putting in place so that citizens are fully informed on all the dangers that the floods are presenting, and that they get to know in advance so that they are able to take precautions and be able to move. You've seen in some places people are saying it's not raining here and therefore they are not moving, and yet when it rains in the mountains, the floods come and they will sweep them away. So I'm really calling on media to really take care of the information and ensure that our citizens get the right information at the right time. We've agreed with the Met Department that they are going to be publishing and presenting that information to you all on a daily basis. They may even do that 2 or 3 times a day, so that you're able to know very specifically which areas are being affected and which people should be able to move, and then you're able to transmit that information to them very quickly. So I appeal to you to do the same even on social media, and even all those on social media that are spending a lot of time talking about many other things. Please alert people on the current dangers that we're having, both COVID and now the flood situation that we're facing, so that we can be able to go together as a country and ensure that there's safety for everyone. Thank you. Right, I'm also just informed we are still using, so one of the areas we've also decided we will do is that for all the displaced people that we're taking to camps, other than giving them food, we are already transferring cash directly to them so that they are able to use that money for the various things that they use. At the moment, they are given mosquito nets, they're given food and many other things. But if we give them cash, then they have more of an opportunity to decide for themselves how much they want to spend on what. But at least it means they have more dignity and the economy continues to grow with the money that they will get. So the cash transfers are already happening. We've already sent out to over 200,000 families across the country, and we've included the people that are now being displaced and affected by the floods. I want to thank the mobile operators for the support that they've been giving us in ensuring that we have the right data to reach out to them. So as we use technology, let's make sure we use it also to ensure we are communicating and informing people so that as a country we can remain safe. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Joe. And lastly, but not least, let me invite CS Matiang'i to tell us about the security implication, and as chair of the NDICC, the government coordinating mechanism in dealing with this. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, colleagues from the media, for both turning up today and for the work that you consistently do to support our messaging and our communication with the rest of the country. My first point is that effective this morning, we have raised the level of alert in the country in relation to the flooding situation and several other things that we need to do. We have given instructions this morning to our regional security team in northeastern and in parts of eastern and coast to begin moving people. As I speak to you, we have an operation in Tana River and an operation in Garissa. We are not waiting for people to be swept downstream. We are moving some people using public resources, moving some people away from danger. And that level of alert will remain raised for the next week or two until we are satisfied that we are away from danger. Because you've heard my colleagues have said the waters in the dams have risen to unprecedented levels, and we can anticipate clearly that if we do not move the populations we have along the waterways, we are going to have disaster. So I first of all want to appeal to the leaders and the people of Garissa and Tana River particularly. Government is doing what we must do, and please, for those who like all the time saying that it's not fair to push people out, we do not have an option. We are moving some people out by force. We have instructed the county commissioners and the county security teams in Garissa and in Tana River to move everyone on those ways away from there, even if it means putting them on lorries ourselves and getting them out of danger. We would not like to experience that kind of situation. Secondly, I would like to ask citizens of our great country, our fellow citizens. We want to be as polite and as persuasive as we can ever be. When we tell you things as government that this is dangerous for you, your health and the rest of all of us, it's important for people to obey this. There are parts of this country where now we are going to be forced to sometimes apply a bit of force and move people out of the areas they have decided to erect. This is science. This is not fiction, and it's not even politics, so that we spend time debating whether we should do it or we should not do it. Once we have been advised by the Met people here, and you have heard all of them, we have been advised by our colleagues in the energy sector, you have heard the Minister for Energy, what follows is that we should move. And this also applies, since I have this opportunity, it also applies to what our colleagues at the Ministry of Health, led by our colleague, our Cabinet Secretary for Health, Honorable Mutai Kawe, are telling us. We have been warned several times about our behavior, especially in certain estates in Nairobi and in Mombasa. Government is putting forward scientific information. Let's change our behavior. Now we are going to be forced to have to do certain things that even we ourselves as government did not want to do to secure the lives of our people, and especially the lives of innocent Kenyans. Because clearly some of us are indisciplined, and they are very difficult to understand. I don't understand why people find it very difficult to just move. You are told you are likely to be swept, and then it takes forever. That's why we have asked the county commissioners and the county security teams in Garissa and in Tana River particularly to immediately commence forceful movement of people who are in the way of danger. And we are going to continue to do that. And members of the public, please understand that we have come to that point, and there are certain things that we have to do, how we have to do them. Because otherwise, we are going to endanger the lives of innocent people. I don't think there's anyone who wants to die, but you may end up placing the lives of so many people at risk. What is going on in Old Town Mombasa, for example? We have restrained ourselves from, applying force and doing certain things that we have to do. But it's not even about our patience, it's about the lives of our people who live in these places. We cannot continue persuading some of us who do not want to live by very simple, straightforward instructions on what we need to do. Now, that time has come for us to be very honest with each other and be firm. We are not going to accept these kinds of things. I repeat this, we have raised the level of alertness across the country on these issues of flooding, especially targeting the areas that have been mentioned. So we've sent out a security cable this morning, raising up the level of alertness, and we are going to do this also in respect of other measures that we have to take in respect of COVID-19. But people need to understand one thing. We have a duty and our responsibility as government to protect the lives of our people. And we will do our work. We will not make excuses about it. We will do our work. Because continued persuasion, and when we're engaging in dialogue, doesn't seem to be giving us as quick results as we hoped it was going to. So for those who are in the ways of danger, and I pointed out particularly in Garissa and in Tana River, we are moving you. We start moving before we come. We will have to ensure that you are safe. And then we are not going to spend so much time negotiating with you, because we would rather negotiate with you when you are alive. And then we are going to ensure everybody gets out of the way so that we sort our people out. The rest has been addressed by my colleagues. On behalf of our team, I would like to say that we are going well with the coordination. We will ensure the food is available. We are supplying food and support to areas that need this support. Our collaboration between the national government administration and county administration is very effective. We're in constant touch with the county governments that are involved, and we are satisfied that, honestly, devolution is working for us, and the county governments are doing a fantastic job in coordinating with us. Obviously, and I think it's fair to be sincere on this issue. Obviously, fellow Kenyans, look, we're having these challenges. Our resources are going to be strained. We are dealing with COVID-19. We now have flooding disasters to deal with. Our resources are going to be strained. So if we were cooperative, we probably would be able to move forward with less losses and less pressure on our resources. But let's see, public resources are not elastic. Our resource constraints are going to be there because we are dealing with various challenges. So it requires all of us to be cooperative with the institutions and the agencies that we are working with. Na tafadhali, tusikizane, instead of being, unduly difficult. When we talk about enforcing curfew, enforcing movement, our colleagues in the Ministry of Health are explaining to us what we need to do. But there are still some of us who believe they have to behave in a particular way. So what options do you leave for us as government? We have a responsibility to protect lives. Our patience is actually running out on this issue. We have restrained ourselves from applying methods we didn't want to, but we are moving slowly but surely in that particular direction. But anyway, we will do our best as we move forward. God bless you, and thank you so much, and we wish everyone all the best as we carry on with this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now you're going to have an opportunity to ask a few questions. Please, when you get the opportunity, do not forget your name and the media house that you represent, but also keep them short and to the scope of today's briefing so that as many people as possible can get the opportunity. We're going to go first. Yes? Anybody else? Okay. Ongeza sauti kidogo. The last one. Can you repeat the last question?
I think you responded.
Thank you so much. We're going to Kisumu County, where we have Baraka Karama on standby to give us the latest from the lakeside. Baraka, You can speak to us if you can hear us and tell us what is the situation there at Kisumu. We've seen a lot of floods, people have been displaced from the county, and many have been so much affected. Now, what's the situation on the ground, Baraka, from your end?
Kaburu, according to the latest statistics from the Kenya Red Cross and also from the Kisumu Disaster Committee, over 8,000 families have been affected by the raging floods within the expansive county of Kisumu. The worst affected areas, the people living within Ogenya location, other parts of Hero, and also other parts of Nyakach have been greatly affected by the perennial floods. Remember, it is not the first time